Welcome to Backbreakers News, episode 99. As I said, I'm starting to be a little bit more positive with things. So, to show my positivity, I'm going to talk about Apple again. But this time, I'm going to talk positive about them. Even though I don't really like them, in my opinion, I do have one positive memory with an Apple product. It was an iPod, and it had like this Monster Inc. game. I forgot what it was, but it was more iconic to me than Angry Birds was. And Apple, thank you for the enjoyment as a kid. I want to say thank you to Apple for that. But let me tell you how they're smart in the business world as far as business goes. The number one biggest thing is they know how to market things. They know how to market things to make them sound cooler. I remember when you want me to talk about, I have to feel, I'm pretty guilty for when they released the iPhone Titanium version, 15 Titanium. I'm like, even though I made fun of it, I thought it was like extremely cool. I was like, so this is real titanium on a phone. Take my money. But just kidding. I'm a Samsung guy, but I really did think that was a cool idea. And if I was an Apple guy, I bet I would be going crazy over it. I think Apple is also smart in the way that they, for one, the way they price things, it's almost genius in my opinion. You want me to tell you what? In my opinion, this might seem like I'm making fun of them again, but I'm not. This is not trying to make fun of it. They try to advertise to make it. They're trying to make you think that the same phone is worth more. And they upcharge it a little bit, which I think is the smartest thing they ever did. Like people, and that's pretty smart. I have to say, their logic is pretty smart there. It's common knowledge that the more something is priced, the more people want it. The higher the price, the more people want it. That is good logic. That is very good logic, in my opinion. Apple is very smart in that standard. But here's what I think they could do to improve a little bit. So you remember those, pair phones from iCarly? Please, Apple, make them. Please, this is not a joke. I am serious. I would buy the whole stock. Please, I would buy one in every color, even in titanium. If it's a pear-shaped phone and you worked with Nickelodeon on this, you don't know how fast I would want one. But it is what it is. If someone from Apple is watching this, please suggest this. Please suggest this idea. Please. I'm not joking. I'm a bit sarcastic in tone, but I'm being honest. I really do. I even talked about this with some of my friends today, and one of them did say they would buy it. So I think I have Apple's next big idea. For nostalgia reasons. My generation would go crazy over it. Maybe even late 90s kids. Another thing Apple could do, you want me to tell you what? I think this is this would be a funny idea to call it the Fruit Collection. They actually make a phone shaped in the apple, one shaped as an orange, and maybe those will be the first two. And the pear would be the special edition. I know this is far-fetched, but come on. Wouldn't it be cool to have an Apple phone that is in shape of an apple? Please. The next thing I think Apple could do is to make... They're a revolutionary company, in my opinion. Steve Jobs knew what he was doing when he was CEO. Don't get me wrong. He made the first ever home computer. That's what got computers in homes. Apple did. That's another thing I have to thank them for. Giving us the technology to do this. You want me to tell you what? They could also be revolutionary in one other way. Making history again by making the first successful gaming console that comes from a phone company. Or just an internet company that's not made for video games. They could create their own characters. I wouldn't say just taking the lazy way out, but they could actually make their own characters, their own games. Make a game console. And I wouldn't necessarily buy it, but I think it could be the next revolutionary idea for Apple. Apple, I want to say I have a love-hate relationship with you, but I generally think that you're a very smart company. This is all my opinion, but if you would, one thing I don't understand. One thing I don't understand about Apple, though, is one thing I also like about Apple is the name. But now this has got me thinking. That's actually very smart. Because imagine, when you search on Google Apple, what do you think is going to be the first thing you show up? The fruit or the company? Naming it after an object that is, also famous. I think that was their name originally anyway. But still, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You wouldn't think it would be cool, but it is. And that's I try and think what Apple could do to even be even more famous. Probably, if they really wanted to. And that's if they really wanted to. They could make like a digital boombox. I don't know, I'm just throwing something out there that could be more than a boombox, Something cool and innovative. Some stuff that Apple is known for. Something innovative. You want me to tell you what? I feel like with Apple at top with Samsung, you never hear about like Nokia or Motorola or who, what, when, where, and how anymore. When's the last time you heard of like a BlackBerry phone? I'm generally gonna ask this question. Do you think Apple do I think Apple makes dumb decisions sometimes? Yes. Do I like their company? Not necessarily. But do I think that they are one of the biggest and greatest companies for phones out there besides Samsung? Yes. The only other person that's ahead of Samsung there would be Google, and they're not even really a phone company per se. This is Hideo Midoriya. Goodbye.